The chaplain of Congress, Pastor Barry Black, said it best. Words matter. Words matter. There were 11 Republicans who voted to remove Marjorie Taylor Greene from the Labor Committee and from the Education Committee. There were representatives from New York, namely John Katko, Nicole Maliotakis, Chris Jacobs. There were representatives from Florida, Maria Salazar, Carlos Jimenez, Mario Diaz-Balart. Representatives from Pennsylvania, Brian Fitzpatrick. From California, Young Kim. From Illinois, Adam Kinzinger. From New Jersey, Chris Smith. And from Michigan, Fred Upton. A spokesperson for Kinzinger told Forbes he believes that QAnon's conspiracy theory has no place in Congress, and that Greene's past endorsement of political violence is not compatible with the values of the House or the GOP. Katko said that he looked at the facts and the circumstances, like he did when he was a prosecutor, and made a decision accordingly. Diaz-Balart said Greene's comments were unacceptable, but argued that Democratic Representatives Ilhan Omar, Maxine Walters, and former Representative Cynthia McKinney should have received the same treatment. I disagree with him. None of these people advocated for violence, such as shooting the Speaker of the House and going into full-blooded insurrection. She made that statement in 2019 as an option if the people couldn't get what they wanted. And she particularly spoke about attacking the Capitol building and Congress. Maliotakis said her vote was based on Greene's comments that were extraordinarily offensive and hurtful to the thousands of 9/11 families and first responders, or Jewish community, and many others in my district. Jimenez, who is a Florida representative, honed in on Greene's denial of the Parkland shooting and said she loses her credibility to craft policy on education because of it, adding, "We cannot allow Congresswoman Greene's comments and behavior to prevent us from governing responsibly." Jacob cited Greene's confrontation with the Parkland survivor, David Hogg, stating her actions, whether out of extreme callousness or ignorance, disqualify her from serving on the House Committee overseeing education policy. Now, it's to be noted that it's 11 Republican congressmen and women in the House who voted to remove Greene from these committees. That's one more than the 10 that voted to impeach former President Donald Trump last month. However, it must be noted, the consistent people who vote impeach Donald Trump and then voted to remove Marjorie Taylor Greene from the committees were only 3. Adam Kinzinger, John Katko, and Upton. These people voted based on conscience. There's a time for partisanship, no doubt about it. And there's a time again for conscience. This was not an issue that is partisan. This is an issue that has to do with precedent and how a congressperson or senator should conduct themselves in Congress and their behavior and character leading up to them getting into Congress. See, when you become a congressperson, when you become a governor, when you become a lawmaker for a state or for the country, you do not just represent the people who voted for you. You also represent the people who didn't vote for you. And that is why moral integrity and ethics is important in politics. That is why Bill Clinton was impeached for the Monica Lewinsky incident. That is why Donald Trump was impeached for his conduct with a foreign body trying to impact elections locally. Ethics matter. Words matter. So maybe the electorate elected Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it is up to the legislative arms of government to keep Marjorie Taylor Greene in check and to make sure she is fit to represent all the people of the district she has won. And if she is not living up to that moral code and standard of conscience, and she's not abiding by the laws and rules of the Senate and Congress, she should be expelled. I realize conspicuously missing from this list of people is Liz Cheney. In order for the Republican Party to survive and be what it is, and its soul and heart not to be taken from it, Liz Cheney must stand consistent with her conscience. She must not play politics. She must not let the risk of her seat or her position silence her. Where she should, as leadership, stand and stamp it out and say, this is not what we are. This is not what we represent. Remember Liz Cheney. You don't just represent the voters that voted for you in Wyoming. You also represent the voters that did not vote for you in Wyoming. You're accountable to both of them. A lot of these people are worried about being primary. I would not be concerned about being primary. Why? Because I understand I need to vote by conscience. I must make a statement saying I do not accept people of low moral character and ethics. And if she has to go down in a blaze of fire, do it the right way. Because these people are all in, the reprehensible ones, to tear down your party and destroy it in the flames. You have to fight to preserve it. You cannot be weak. This is the time we will learn if you're strong or weak.